That is a hell of a crowd we've got here, and what, it's only 20 past 8, my god, okay. So I suppose you guys are expecting a show. Just go home because you're not going to. Alright, anyway, so we are going to start off with my main man in the front row here. This is the one and only mind spinner, Jack the Fezzer. Sorry, Jack the Tripper, also known as Fezzer. So there you go. Woo.
It's 5, so I'll just get stuck straight in, yeah? Good. What's this for? Right, it's just this first one's a bit of an old rhyme called hide and seek. I hear that Dr. Jekyll likes to play hide and seek and destroy. So it got me thinking, why don't we all join in? Let's all hide from Jekyll. Let's go wild and behave crazy. Let's get the shots in and release the inner beast. At least then all our problems can be forgotten. Yeah, maybe we'll wake up feeling rotten, but who cares so long as we get there? There's always another shot to be taken. So take aim and fire up the tongue because the game has just begun. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ready or not, here I come. Right. This next one's about one of my favourite people, and a bit of a strange thing, but still, you'll work it out anyway. He goes about at night for the fright, even though Halloween has already been. Slags are his favourite choice, eating the flesh of whom is his greatest rejoice. Hackney heart and Bethnal liver, with a few vegetables on the table to beckon the sanity. A feast of gladiators for the champion phantom of the night. Don't think he even had to pay for the shag. Suppose it might be spare change for the opium den. When I hit my dire, remorseful states of guilt, I take shelter under the quilt of the poppy. Heroic, warm, bound together with a lack of respect for each other, creating an I don't give a fuck attitude. Right, where should I take my unseen identity tonight? Stepney or Whitechapel? Kidney or spleen? Yeah. Right, now we're going for an easy one. As inglorious as it may sound, I made a profound deal with the devil, that I would follow his instruction and revel in glorious destruction. The first thing he taught me was the art of stealing, the 5-finger discount. We discussed this qualification deeply. Now I understand the whole ordeal is creepy. Creeping in and out of houses, or handily creeping things into pockets. No matter what you want, as long as somebody stocks it, you can get it for free by acting creepily crafty. After this dastardly lesson, the bastard taught me about jealousy, or rather how it need not exist. He said, if anyone's got something that you want zealously, you can take it using that same art of thievery, leaving no possession unreachable. The next thing the devil did teach me was the ability of gluttony. He showed me how to hunt down any animal whose meat I could eat, raising a taste of flesh as ravenous as the Tyrannosaurus who came before us. Yeah. I would cook meals suitable for 4 of us humans, and then finish the plate before even contemplating sharing. A daring feat, I know, but no more than the shit that came afterwards. And now this shit was getting heavy, and my belly was growing steadily, and this led me to the realisation that would compromise the devil's deal. To begin with, the real benefits I was caught missed made sure that I missed the point. But the point I must make is that the devil resides inside all of us, and thus the devil's deed is indeed the incitement of greed. Yeah! Right, this one's a new one that I finished yesterday. It's called Yings and Roundabouts. The world revolves around like yings and roundabouts, an eternal spectral spectrum of here and there, now and then. Where and when will we realise that every action is part of a pendulum, which is not just 2 directions, but rather behaves as a wave with its own current, currently rippling forever, right beneath our noses. Invisible to the naked eye, but considerable for the awakened. Open your eyes to the spot between the disguise, where the web lies in wait for reality to break. Who knows what it takes for a wave to break? I swim in an ocean of imagery. What can I do better than imagine? What can I do with this chance? How can I advance? I can produce my own wave of thought that will be caught by all who happen to have sought me out. By fate, By coincidence? No, by riding the waves, enslaved by the land of opportunity, momentarily sharing momentum. If I was ever to tell you to take some advice, it would be to take advice from the people you encounter in life. Everybody is rife with experience, so to listen to their waves that they emit seems like common sense. Penny for your thought? Nah, fuck that, they're priceless.
Jack the Tripper, everybody. What do we do? He's good anyway, he's good. Yeah, talk about spinning your mind around and around and around. Oh, you got something else to say? Oh no, you want that? No, I'm keeping it, mate. Righty-ho, so thank you all for coming out to Organised Rhyme tonight. We started it off hard with the man Jack the Tripper. Thank you so much for coming. Just a little note, even though the art is pretty, please don't touch it or take anything home with you, because then we get it in the net. Fuck that, because we want to do this every month, don't we? Yeah! Okay, right, okay, so we have next the amazing Rosie P. She may be a P, but she's not P-brain, that's for sure, man. Okay, take it away, man. Start the next level.
Okay, so this one's got a bit of a theme. I'm going to call it The State of You World. Some of you might realise you have a handout, this little thing on your seat. You don't have to read along, but I like typography, so. This is called The Advertising War. Religion is the opium of the people, once claimed Karl Marx. Well, Karl, the new religion is television. I'm a product of my culture, it's not my decision. If I break from the mould, it would be considered madness to have a new vision. I'm a one-man army with no government precision, not a penny unspent, but still. I feel discontent and empty, stuck in my product prison. I am a product of World War III, the advertising war, fighting for your mind and your money. It's funny that you don't even know that you're fighting too. I need the new insert product here. Now, the next one was actually lined up pretty nicely for me by one of Fez's poems. So I'm not going to tell you the name of this guy, but this is me being him. Purge the streets from scourge. Dirty women of low moral standing are handing out free passes to sin and disruption. Consumption of their sexual favours brings good men to dirt. It makes me want to hurt them the way they've tarnished my once pure soul. They tempt and entice, seductresses of the devil. I rot inside, stained by their image, burnt onto my retinas. I can't escape the sick obsession. I need to save myself, along with other men, from their disgusting, haunting, tempting, one-way ticket to hell. Still night, putrid smell lingering, white moon the only light, the puddled lane like dark mirrors on the floors of London. My heart is still as I hear her cackling into some fallen gentleman's ear. He pays her with a foul piece of tainted paper. She kisses his mouth crudely. She has no shame. She is to blame single-handedly for Adam's fall from grace. Her face with eyes which make my thighs burn and make me want to eat her forbidden fruit. She sees me. I emerge from the shadows. She takes in my image. Carnage hidden behind my travelling cloak and mirrors that of a gentleman. Hello there, squire. Eyes flash desire for my supposed fortune. She has assessed me now incorrectly as no harm. My arm extends to her waist. I pull her rancid frame to me and taste seduction as she forces her rouged lips against my own. I lead her down the path. She asks, "Where are we going?" Not knowing that would be the last foul phrase she'd utter. I got her for a grave and I have saved Whitechapel dwellers from one more demon, cleansing for Eden. I am a hero. This one's Jim's house. Jim's house. Lying in a dark, dank room which stank of booze and general refuse, he chooses to lie there, staring blankly ahead. Out of his head, the light in his eyes is dead, and the t-shirt he wears is red, stained with sweat and blood, which is 4 days old, and his tea is cold. No one cares, not even him. The mouldy cups of tea and coffee litter tables along with his prized crack pipe. The smallest stream of light fights its way through broken blinds. His mind is nearly gone. His house is rotting, as is he, a man who no longer believes in living life like you or me, destined to spend the rest of his days dying on his sofa in piles of prescription pills on tea-ringed tables, absent of coasters.
Give it up for ICP! The Dark Mistress.
Evening all, I'm just going to do a few short ones. So this one's called Hate Is. Hate does not choose, hate does not care, hate brings pain to all who bear, hate creeps in the shadows, hate lurks in the darkness, hate feeds off our hearts, irregardless, hate poisons the tongue, hate corrupts the mind, hate clouds our judgment until we are blind. This one's on another spectrum, this one's called Love Equals. Love is a gift not many receive. Love is two-faced and can deceive. Love can be faith if you choose to believe. Love is forgiving and not to take. Love in early blossom will easily break. Love is to be nurtured and encouraged to grow. Love is a seed we all wish to sow. Love can be a curse, not just a blessing. Love hidden inside is always worth confessing. It's called Positive Karma, just a little outlook I've basically got on life. Well, I think so anyway. Right, do unto others as you would have done unto you. If I see you lacking in confidence, I'll try to give you a boost. If I see a fight erupting, I'll try to call a truce. If I see lies being told, I'll try to find the truth. If I see someone begging on the streets, I'll hand over all I have to give. For the rest of my life, this is the way I choose to live. This is called Feeling Alive. I dance with death to feel alive. I live life dangerously to enjoy the ride. I'm not scared to tell the devil or afraid to take a risk. Why simply sit idle in order to exist? Because what's the point in living if you can't feel alive? Don't you sometimes wonder what it's like to face death and actually survive? Blood begins pumping, heart starts to race. You'll be choking down air at an alarming pace. You've never felt so unprotected and been this close to the edge without falling off. Now you've had a small taste of adrenaline, it doesn't seem enough. So you up the ante and push your limits. You seem through all of fears, fancy gimmicks. But when Lady Luck finally falls out of love and fate catches up, it can all be over, oh so abrupt.
Yeah! This sensei, my sensei, that's for sure, man. Anyway, take it away, brother.
Thank you. This feels a bit weird for me, to be honest, because I'm usually like rapping over beats with everyone like, whoa! So it feels a bit weird. So if you want to cheer at any point during the verse, let me know, innit? Just cheer. Right, this one's called Wild. Wanting it loud defiantly, it stands for. Right. How do you detect a sinner? Lack of respect for the inner. How do you dissect a beginner? They don't expect to be your winner. Success reflects the inner like a mirror. They're trying to rush you. I'm trying to walk you through. They're worried about Levi's. I ain't talking moon. Big up to Levi Moon. They're trying to... fuck. Let me start again. Right. How do you detect a sinner? Lack of respect for the inner. How do you dissect a beginner? They don't expect to be your winner. Success reflects the inner like a mirror. They're trying to rush you. I'm trying to walk you through. They're worried about Levi's, they ain't talking moon. Use their apparatus to hate us, assign us colours to separate us. They're too worried about tightness of jeans and not tightness of raps. Makes me bring in politeness back. Fuck the P's and Q's, I've got permanent questions. Like why have they got us permanently guessing? Want us to permanently lessen. But my permanent lesson, only concern yourself with that, that's a blessing. Mother Nature looks best with no makeup, so look like you're creating a shape up. I rap to the rhythm of a heartbeat. Hip hop, my nature in my arteries. I flow rivers over stood on mountains. When I deliver, youths bathe in the fountain. I spit to you underwater. If the lightning don't get you, then the thunder oughta. Junglists like gale force, but don't chat breeze. MCs are endangered species. But Ronald Routledge, vision never clouded. I'm not high or dry, just spit to my mouth is. My rhyming raw makes the planet wobble. I'm the last dinosaur, but no fossil. Sick like insects having insects. Animal instincts of the whole index. I rap like an animal, flow like a god. So you can call me the opposite of dog. I'm spliff rich in a roll, but never fell off. No disguise, helping the skies not well soft. Your creature comforts are bollocks. In Norwich, we forage through the forest for knowledge. I'm excavating myself from the underground. Listen up, you can hear the thunder now. My environmental rhymes are mental. Drawn from nature with no stencil. My logical, ecological, abominable rhymes are phenomenal. What's blatant is they hate this shit. I'm a hip-hop conservationist. They'll probably never know what the price was. Climate change natural, but not what's left in the cost. I've got plots and pot you can't handle. I used to smoke spliff, leave molten rocks on the mantle. I'm not peeking out about my peak. I excel molten basalt, gas and steam. You couldn't get this high in your wildest dreams. Some can't see the wood through the trees. To find a cure for a disease, don't look at the leaves, look at the root. My root canal is the root to the truth. Given from my mouth's roof to the tooth. Men are mocking birds, homophobia is absurd, but doing into flocking herds? Guess I'm the only one down to earth. A splash of water takes those they deserve. Brings my mind to the surface so you can serve. I reserve no love for those that preserve. Nature reserves and are down to and down for the earth. My rain never falling, you know me though lit. I've a whale of a time, call it Moby Dick. To be specific, my flow deep like the Pacific. My soul was here before hieroglyphics. A seal only there for my removal. So I release myself from the zoo with no approval. The way that I season the seasons is crazy. Only ones on my wavelength for wavy. They say we're just a drop in the ocean, but they can't get rid of the commotion. I'm making waves, but not like Columbus bringing slaves, but don't get in my waterway. My rhymes get on a stream but escape. Recycle when repeated when your mouth agape. My bygones escape the confines of land and sea. My mind's gone because I planned it to be. I'm not mild, turned down by society. I'm wild, wanting it loud, defiantly. Let me go through it by CD. Rock out.
So yeah, Organised Rhyme, we're all about poetry, but also, you know, if you're a rapper, you write bars and you want to get up, do stuff a cappella, as was amazingly demonstrated right then by the main man, Marty Biaggi, feel free, because we're all about getting shit done at Organised Rhyme. Do you know what I mean? If you write anything that rhymes, anything that's poetic, any creative writing, use of words, feel free to get up and get on the mic. Just talk to me. Anyway, so next we're going to have this is a poet that actually contacted us on Facebook about performing and actually put his money where his mouth is, came down, turned up and is ready to go. This is Harry Bennett.
Just a little bit of context for this poem. My university accommodation had bed bugs and they didn't do shit about it. This is me being angry. We manifest infestation in the cracks of a concrete basement, in a castle that we have belief in, but they're stopping us from seeing what we should be seeing. So we rest at the bottom, we breathe in, we seething, taking time, breathing. Meanwhile, bloated corpses sing with our life forces, the jewels that we revere, they would be riding them like dead horses. And this is what we fear, for those things you hold dear. Fuck that, they're here to make your life austere. Really old trolls are losing their control, but they're trying to retain, to keep a hold and contain. Our mind's the mainframe, but it holds, no bars, but it holds. So bring your spades, bring your swords, try and decimate the hordes, the brown-backed hordes. We shimmer when you squash us, and sing when you scrape our guts on the floor, but you can't deny you lie anymore. And from that pale green ooze, our eggs will spread, and we will make your head feel like lead. We manifest infestation, and come for you, the traps you laid will not bear fruit. The season is wrong, you fools, so wipe us off the sole of your boot. Thank you very much for having me.
I have handouts if you want them. I don't know if you know, but I'm a part-time teacher, so.
Take one, pass along.
I've
already got one.
What's
There we go.
So, that one went a little bit dark last time, so let's get angry. Environmentalist. We're a plague on the planet, consuming everything in sight, leaving bones and ash and waste, all for one sweet taste of someone's pound or flesh. Our world is linked to a heart monitor. The pulse is failing, weakening. The Amazonian lungs are spent, 70% surgically removed in a botched job back alley clinic. Choking and spluttering, drowning in cynic, draining the sink, flailing around the poke hole, spiralling to the brink. We're plundering the seas, squeezing them with death and disease. Such wasteful actions, dead souls. Nothing to see here. Okay. This one I wrote a couple of days ago. It's called English Lessons in the Calais Jungle. And I actually got part of it from something that I found on Facebook, which is actually from a book that somebody had written in their first English lessons in the Calais Jungle, so it's not all mine. I don't want to go back to Afghanistan because my family were killed by the Taliban. Like my father, my mother, my sisters, my brother. I don't want to go back to Afghanistan. As would we, the only jungle we see is sweaty beating bodies to frantic rhythmic sounds writhing at a rib. But their lives are far from a gig at the Owl Sanctuary, but there is sweat and beating bodies and frantic rhythmic sounds needing sanctuary. Not just mindlessly gassing, but mindlessly tear-gassing kids, forbidden from freedom, from fighting and fear. Just build up a wall and then they'll disappear. What about the problem that's still very much here? I don't want to go back to Afghanistan, because my family were killed by the Taliban. Like my father, my mother, my sisters, my brother. I don't want to go back to Afghanistan. A jungle was once a land dominated by trees. It comes from Sanskrit, jangala, meaning uncultivated land, and I don't understand the tangled etymology and loss of trees replaced by camps and misery for the sin of wanting safety for their family. Why don't we help the detainees, put there by us, our arms that harmed them overseas, our hands hold their blood? We are the disease, but just build up a big wall and they'll disappear. Out of sight, out of mind, until for a moment you see or you hear a young boy's English first lesson expressing his fear. I don't want to go back to Afghanistan because my family were killed by the Taliban, like my father, my mother, my sisters, my brother. I don't want to go back to Afghanistan.
For Rosie Peacock! You guys got to pack it in and go home now, because I just can't hear you, man. Maybe I'm getting old. Give it up for Rosie Peacock! Okay, what should we do now? What should we do now? Do you mind if I do one? Can I do one? Yeah! His fingerprints had all been polished. His accent would change with every word that he'd say. He said history should all be abolished. There once was a man from, he wouldn't say. Whenever you saw him, he wouldn't stay. He thought people were after him, which made us all laugh at him. Turned up dead in a stairwell one day. Proved us all wrong, eh? There once was a man from Bleep, who liked to bleep, 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 bleep. I'd like to talk about him, but he's subject to an injunction. Bleep. There once was a man from somewhere. If you want to know about him, I don't care. With some simple mind-spinning tricks, I made you all hate limericks. Fuck you. Mind if I do another one? One more? Yeah! Okay, a little more serious. I'll give you the humorous side, now we'll flip it around a little yin to the yang. Okay. I lie struck dumb once again as another day turns to night and another night turns to carnage. I tell myself again that I can manage as I try at failing to be part of the damage, but I'm addicted. I'm addicted to the chaos and being one step behind. I'm addicted to finding molehills and mountains to climb. I'm addicted to having a watch and never knowing the time. I'm addicted. I'm addicted to trying to do right but never knowing if I do. And I'm addicted to hating guesswork but still never having a clue. I'm addicted to knowing you but still not knowing you. I'm addicted. I'm addicted to being led by the rhythm of your hips. I'm addicted to being bound by your bittersweet lips. I'm addicted to venomous words shared as parting gifts. I'm addicted. I'm addicted to the past that your scars and marks cry. I'm addicted to failing but still being bound to try. I'm addicted to the uncertainty that accepting you decides. I'm addicted to being cut when you are the knife. I'm addicted to trying to decipher the secrets written in the hairs and scars upon your thigh. I know everything is wrong here, but I won't deny I am addicted. I'm an addict. And like all addicts, I'm hopeless. I can't stand to be high, but I can't stand to be sober. I don't care if this is healthy or condone your neurosis. You are smoke and mirrors, but I want to be tricked. I am sick, and you are my fix. I am an addict, and I am addicted. Thank you. Thank you. Right, so very soon we're going to have a break in a scene from an all-in rap adaptation of Mac.
Yo, yo, yo. Yeah. Right, I'll tell you what, not cool. Don't worry about anything. Don't you worry about anything that you consider to be a problem. For all problems can be solved with a little bit of thinking. Just sink inside your mind and you will find the answer. But be wary, don't get caught, don't wallow in depression. Remember, you can cut through it in less than a second, just so long as you don't second guess yourself. Freedom of thoughts is the one thing they truly cannot take away from you. But with that said, do prepare your head to hide them from those who may misguide you. Perfection is an imperfect concept, for it cannot possibly be achieved in everyone's opinion. Ah, shit. I'll do a quick one to weigh up. One for all, and all for one by. One may seem small, one may seem insignificant, but one move can prove oh so significant. One act could in fact make you. One mistake could break you. One turn could take you all the way, one turn could send you the wrong way. One thing could bring a beginning, one thing could bring an end. One pretends this is the only one, and one less only leaves none. One is the bottom, one is the top, one is the start of a count that never stops. One is the first, one is the worst, one is the best, one composes the rest. One point could make you win, one point could make you lose. One situation could make you sin, one question could make you choose. One point to remember above all, one love is the one true call. Yeah!
Let's raise the roof and the comeback king who cannot be stopped, Jack the Tripper! Put the roof off that building. And they're going to have to check the structural integrity of this room after tonight, because you guys are really raising this roof. No shit. Anyway, we're going to have a long enough break.
Let's go for. Oh, that's it. Right, now we're back. This one is called Mind Boom. Hey boys and girls, let me teach you all how to take on the world in just one word. Boom! And now the planet is a mess. Innocent people sent into distress. I only wanted to progress, but now nobody's impressed, and my face covers the press. When did it all go so wrong? Why did we all build these bums? Is there anywhere that we truly belong, or should we just be gone? Can you really feel power from making others cower? What do you gain from bringing pain? Where's the relief in causing others grief? I got sick of the beef and needed to turn over a new leaf. So I decided to refine the design of the mind. Now the only thing that blows is your mind. Who knows what you may find when you delve deep inside? Perhaps life itself. Forget the greedy wealth accumulating stealth and learn to care about others' health, not just yourself. We're living in a criminally minded society where we must strive just to feel free and dream of unity. But it's down to you and me to decree how we can live happily in this worldwide maze that evades the common man's gaze. We are nothing more than a graze on the knee of reality. Let's take a step back to normality so that we can once again be happily free, united entities. Thank you.
Jack the Tripper!
Hey there, good evening. In Ireland we often say, what's the story? What's the story? What's happening? Yeah, I've got a couple of poems, and this one's called The Story. Social media breeds a secret society. They want our news feed to repeat the story. Destiny is to be only memory, all online for the next technocracy. New terminology breeds a new problem. Need new solutions, the state will solve them. Speed check consensus, fast track reports. Spread the nonsense as back chats of sorts. In your webcam, playing I Spies. Damning Islam with radical lies. A war machine run by technology telling you terror is an ideology. Fake propagations taken as gospel. Stories breaking, making us hostile. Disinformation's just a distraction. Reframe situations, turn into action. We used to do farm, we used to do church. We lurching at screens caught in a word search. They take all the data, save it to a disk. It's social control at a minimal risk. Gotta call of duty back to battle stations. An act of beauty, our imaginations. Trigger happy days, fought on auto toggle. Shot so many men, it makes my mind boggle. My mind's been steeled to the weapon I wield. Just the battlefield is left to be revealed. I'm a one-man army, fight my side alone. Set me to the test with a predator drone. Lock me in the hold, me and my console. My soul's been sold to remote control. I got a kill list, I'm ready to clear it. Slave to the state, mind, body, and spirit. I don't like having to explain poems before I say them, but this one's a bit cryptic, and what it's about is 9/11 and the theories that have been put out there, including the official theory, because there is no evidence. So what it is people obviously doubt the official theory, and then they go on to speculate what it could have been. And there's one thesis that it could have been an inside job, and the way it could have been done is by manipulating exercises that were being run on the day. So there was exercises for hijackings, exercises for explosions in buildings, exercises for incidences at the Pentagon and all these places. And the idea is that this was used as a cloak for the real activity to take place. So there's recordings from the day on the air traffic administration, where some of the controllers are saying, is this real world or exercise? Reports of hijackings coming in. Is this real world or exercise? So what I put into the poem is a list of names that are exercises that were on the day. So it's a bit cryptic, but anyway. We'll give it a go. Bay of Pigs, the Gulf of Tonkin, JFK, Martin Luther King, USS Liberty, Lockerbie, Lee Harvey, Oswald, John Hinckley, Northwoods and Iran-Contra, attacks made on the World Trade Center, war rooms groom, prophets of doom, fruit of the loom in bust and in boom, a clear blue day in shady trades made, stock gets dropped, markets get played in a drastic last act masquerade, investments intent bent to invade, financial babble, trust in no one now, superpowers, towers undone, back to dust in televised sight, the microscope finds nanocordite, pre-millennial paramilitarian, false flag tactics back a Machiavellian, renegade rain precipitated on an end-time mind frame revelation, rolling the globe in a terror war, turning Al-Qaeda into coup d'etat, spill blood of people killing at will, under cover of a military drill, Mayday, war games played, it's all simulated, Mayday, war games played, it's all simulated, Mayday. War games played, it's all simulated, Mayday. War games played, it's all simulated. Right, sorry, there was a whole other half to that.
Go for it. Do it. Yeah.
Good work, you man.
Encore.
War games played, it's it's all simulated Mayday. War games played, it's all simulated Mayday. War games played, it's all simulated Mayday. War games played, it's all simulated Mayday. War games played. Okay, I got it, sorry. Let's do that again, right? Refrain. Mayday, war games played, it's all simulated with guardian and warrior in vigilance, unwitting innocent civilian militants. In weeks before they hold the forts, access controls, wreak havoc with air traffic, inputs unconsoled. Fly FBI task force away to Monterey, have no rat staff in Colorado on the day. Move fighter jets to North Carolina, Nevada, Alaska, Canada, Iceland, Turkey, Saudi Arabia. Hijacks got transponders walking. Recon office got a global hawking. Amalgam war plan at the Pentagon with an unmanned aerial vehicle bomb. Door hop galley secretly drops. Stratus IV out of the box. Able dangers, terabytes of data. Forever bury Mohammed Atta. The mayor plays away in his center. What was the red exercise meant for? Who gave Giuliani the warning about the towers collapse that morning? Workers were told to relax and return, even as they watched the first tower burn. Still becoming molten, bedeviled. WTC7 got leveled. Heads of the crew got ready to profit. Scout brought profit all up in Oxford. Air Force Police with their doomsday planes. Global Guardian going on in their brains. Armageddon war plan, trip to go live like a modern day HAL X-75. Valkyrie in Neo context. COG says Angel is next. Mayday. War games played, it's all simulated 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 Mayday. Yeah, I just like to say, I couldn't have done it without your help.
You know what, it's easy to mess up when you're on a stage, you've got all the eyes on you and there's a lot of pressure, but that is how you bring it back. Give this back another round of applause. Mohammed Amin, if you didn't catch it the first time. Thanks, my main man here, Freddie. He's sorting everything out, Freddie from the Pyrotowns. Anyway, so yeah, get a name drop, man. Right, who have we got next? Right, the next poet, something a little bit special, came all the way down here from Bristol. I don't know if you know Bristol, but it's a hell of a long way away. And yeah, putting in a lot of love. And now I've got a pound rolling at me. Apparently I look like I need it. Anyway, so here we go. It is Roxy. Where are you? Here you go.
Keep the quid, Phil, you're just that great, mate. I don't know, that was just weird synchronicity there, wasn't it? Hello, I'm Roxy. I'm a bit nervous because you don't know me, but I'm gonna get my list out of a special book here. Yeah. Well, what comes up must go down, mustn't it? Right, okay. So I'm going to start off with a new poem that I've made. I've been writing for about 4 years now, but I haven't really made anything that I was really proud of, like I used to be, kind of thing. So this is kind of, yeah, something I'm proud of, so that's cool. And it's about, you know, like, what was I saying? Oh, yeah. You know, like, how everyone gives a shit about, sorry if I offend anyone, but you know how everyone wears poppies and, like, celebrates the war and celebrates people dying, and it's all like, yeah, that's a really fucking great idea. Well, it's to those guys, the war-pushing, poppy-wearing, tissue-up-your-sleeve generation. Right, it's to them. That's what this is to. I came up with that on the coach, I'm glad you like it. It was 6.5 hours, I had long enough. Oh, it took me 2 minutes. So, this book isn't really the best for the back. We'll get there. Right. So, what exactly do you mean by clarity?
Is it a regression to depict its discretion of an incension that separates my charity, my humanity, or an incension of my ascension that is a lesson? To pick at regression, to turn it forward. Prose justified in its sword to conform no order, to demand peace in slander no order, slander no order, slander no order. So we bring it forward in our discordance personified, an ocean of reserves, but try this first, yet they don't realise. Subservient midlife Christ curse they are under. It's not what was requested, usurped whilst they rested, as they accepted the best bits and digested tea biscuits, but forgot to trust, lost belief in Earth's crust, having no knowledge left to transfer through to us. Yet forgiven in their flanks to try and to trust, bring out the keep calm, carry on t-shirts. Queen Logo insists that this version of humanity really does exist in its duality, turning forward to what really is. The universe, I trust as it surges within. Without a doubt, the earth's alive and it gives. So profiting from verse is my perspective. That's the end of that one. Thank you very much. Fuck all of them, how brilliant. Thank you. I think it's silly because, you know, it's pretty obvious that we're overpopulated, so, you know, what do you think they're going to do? Come up with an answer. What's the answer? War. Like, it doesn't take a fucking rocket scientist. Well, this is kind of about that. If you could sort them in the ways that we could have taught them, then who'd have fought them? The flaws and the curse of what true fascism converse, it's a curse. Competing against your word, my word, your word, my word, your word, my word, your word, my word, your word, my word. That enforces every one of them to serve. It's 100% true without any need for what you want to do, then you're not part of it. You're screwed, PlayStation glued, removed. Amen, riddles. Beauty that becomes riddles and fiddles and ignites a spark from one to another, creating a true art. Feel a deep in heart, true light, ignite, emanates so bright can't lie. It says turn up to the sky. A consequential solution to turn from confusion, selection, translate them. Anti-opaque men, far from a grapevine. There will never be a time where others tell lovers they must fall in line. Don't provide no comfort, no strings for your puppets, your disadvantages. Whether you force down barriers, whether rhymes or languages, keep your bandages. Attraction takes it in turns to feel the electric, it's hectic. When pen put to paper, you feel it, accepts it, checks it, lets it linger. No ring dead to me as you continue to let it simmer. Glimmer, racial hatred, looking glass, there's no need to ask. It's these rhymes creating barriers and anguish as they try to expand it, but we intensify and remind whilst we put time aside. Friction, whether it's fact or fiction, to pit themselves into extinction to exit them. Continue as we do, emanating truth, regardless of any propaganda news, because emanating light, they cannot frighten this endeavour. They are frightened of what's enlightened and cannot shine through the weather. As a definer's affinity, tranquility, and insatiably the perfect resistance, because change exists within our existence. And I'm going to show you another one, and it goes like that. That was from there was a time when on the walls of St Paul's Cathedral you had, and it sounds like bullshit, but it's not. On the walls of St Paul's Cathedral there were all these pieces of like Wikipedia pages and all this, you know, unleashed information, all this shit, and the next day it's gone, like that. And we were just starting to think, okay, maybe it's not actually us that are crazy, maybe the government really is fucked. Maybe, just maybe, they're not actually our best friends. I remember having to say to a guy, this isn't part of the act, but I just remembered. The act. My friend, I like to say my friend, his name's Richard, we call him Sponge, and he's now a lawyer. And I remember seeing him about 5 years ago, and I said to him, but you know fracking's the thing, yeah? And he went, oh, fracking's a myth, innit? This isn't about fracking at all. It's about smoking cigarettes, which I do. But I'm gonna share it anyway. It's called Disney. Chemical generators to alienate us. Partake in a game that plays packs of 20 to regulate a dose of what you can't see. Marlboro, Lucky Strike, Mayfair, supersized, tar is a jar. But embalming fluid? Inconclusive when minds are obtrusive. Too distracted to prove or disprove it. No sheep will dispute this and deny what is lucid. Pathetic excuses. In minds of intrusers, subliminally deluded, shouts of elusive drug abuse usage, a world of misguided lies to divide it. Native Americans found that toxic. They tried it. Interestingly, as tobacco administered electrically is to deny any natural link to its consistency. Aladdin, Lion King, Jungle Book, take a look at its hidden agendas. Yeah, here they present us. How do we trust and walk now, said pretenders. Disney, what are we? Thank you. I just want to share it with you, really. Like, I'm happy that you're hearing it. That's all that matters, really. The last one I'm going to show you is one that I'm not showing it to you now. But the one, the one. Okay, I'm back in the room. She's just comedy. I was saying that to them. Oh my god! I was saying that to them over there. She's just comedy because it's just hilarious. I love it. It's funny. But the last one I did, I'm going to show you. It's very much a poem that I created that wasn't necessarily, and I'm sure all poets can agree, where sometimes you write it, it's almost like it's brought to you. It's not necessarily something you've written, it's almost something you've channeled. I'm doing this, because if you don't do this, you get in trouble. Which channel? Channeled it. Alright, so this is about squatting and general ignorance, and pretty much how obvious it is that the world is what it is. That's the best thing I can say. Remarkable. People just assume squatting's illegal. I'll tell you straight now, it's not. You know that. Get out your iPad, MacBook, and comprehend your existential ignorant eye. Media is your lullaby. Overstand this. The scummy paper dictates it. Evening Standard. Up to a certain standard. As you're stranded alone reading it, as it encapsulates your ability to think solely for integrity on that one man, one plan island. As police obsession turns warriors to violence on the cusp of it, illegally evicting kids. They don't really care about us, Jackson, and we're supposed to live with this taxman, making attempts to see confidence shrouded. What, Cameron, you're proud, is it? Dirkhead. Yeah! We're coming for you, you big sucker. Right, so that was the UK youth's answer, according to my notes, to the oppression and that. I don't mean that to sound so flippant. It's just I am here doing this, and there's this book, and it's just very exciting. I labelled it all and everything. Sorry, bear with me. I'm sorry. Oh, here it is. This is my it's my rap, right? I haven't done a rap before. Obviously, I'm Irish, I'm from London, and I'm white. And I had this weird thing about I sing as well, and I get so much inspiration from Lauryn Hill and Erykah Badu, and obviously, African American black females, and I got this weird thing in my head, I don't know if it was to do with ego or being scared, or I don't know, which is all kind of the same thing. But I thought that I couldn't necessarily write something that was hip hop orientated. My influences are from the ladies I mentioned, and then from Mos Def, and for some reason, being 20, I'm 26 nearly now, but in my head I was I can't do that, I'm not allowed to do that. So well, that's bullshit. So I'm going to do this in an American accent. Yeah. I know, in my brain, we all have one, it's a weird thing. Okay, so it goes like this. Cause you're tiny, your ass don't shine up crack, but in your force, your orifice's embarrassment of its niche and its bleakness, your transparent laugh. But I pity what a disgusting existence you create with your petty cash. Be the last, see who has the last laugh. Cause I prefer applause, at least on the surfaces, as no one's dropping its Brexit bombs, lifted from the curses, and you could live a little. But your perception with no purpose is abysmal. With its offset check, your time be spent, but you don't spend enough time on your dissociative, so we live a little. How's your conquest going now? Still going at it with a chisel? Sides of a house, no going outs, but your time is running out. But if the government own time, then who's owning now? What are we gonna do now? That's the one. That's it. I'm going to do this one now. This is the one that I just did and I wrote, and it was just written in the text. Challenge on the paper. Shut up. Okay. There's no point defying it. Like synchronicity, from leaf to tree I start rhyming the end. Make choices between what you choose to align with. Light already travels through your avos as long as you're fine with it. Connections. There's no need to take actions or claims to replace them. Nations. For all of it, we're still the same station. Salvation, taken from the roots of justice and damnation. Music. How people always get through it, in tune to it, through it. So use it, choose it, approve. Never abuse when worlds are accused. Shame. Yes, people pave their way again. Insane people are created from this slave-driven, jaded rhythm, settles down into every schism, because there's constant contact with the mess they've made, but less thought now, more energy saved, as BPM level titters on Euro paths, you're literally enslaved, energy is saved. Music. How people always want to get through it, in tune to it, through it, so use it, choose it, existence. Blink more than twice and you've missed them. Cataclysm, within a system, Creations of past, energy lasts and lasts. All you need to do is ask, all you need to do is ask. Spacious, putting lives to be far from inequacious. Samples, selections and clips that form an art form. Steadily are reborn, ready to fill the quiet after these storm. Minds and hearts steady. Creation, idea and spark flow through the nation. Picking up losses before you've even gained them. Knowledge, something you can push for but not for a bargain, because children are starving, because the lottery continues as if we're all agreeing, calming of the present situation, and it's alarming how others continue to sit back and watch lucky dip as though it's charming. Ignorance, when it's so evidently clear it appears in the face, in the eyes, surrounds the space, used to obliterate my own good faith until I realised what was at stake. I love you.
Yeah!
Thank you for having me back.
Guys, a little riddle I wrote this morning. For every turn I take, I may seem to show a new side, but I'm certainly limited in my faces. You can try to play me as many times as you like, though chances are you won't get any better. What am I? I'll read it to you again. Right.
Oh, leave them time to think about it after the...
Yeah, I'll do it a second time so you can hear it.
No, but let the next guy perform.
Yeah.
Go.
For every turn I take, I may seem to show a new side, but I'm certainly limited in my faces. You can try to play me as many times as you like, though chances are you won't get any better.
Guys?
Yeah, he's got it.
Funny thing about that is I used to live with Fezza and he seemed to write a new riddle every few days, and I never ever get them. No word of a lie, so maybe it's adrenaline or something, I don't know, something's different. Or maybe you just need to up your game, Fezza. Where's the old school? Nah, he is the Don, man. Right, okay, next we're gonna have, the last rapper we had come and spit a cappella. That was Marshy Maggie, he's got albums for sale, shameless plug. Anyway, the last one we did have up, you seem to really enjoy, so we're going to have something similar. This guy's got a couple of albums, EPs out, stuff like that. I'm sure he'll tell you about it. It's the main man, Harry Ixer.
Thank you very much. Oh, Roxy killed it. Make some noise for Roxy. Yeah. I'm definitely giving a CD to Roxy. So, make some noise for Phil as well for doing this. That's he's known as the Purple Prince of peer pressure, and that's why we're all here today. So, I'm not going to spit an a cappella like Marshy did. I just thought I'd come and read you a poem, because I don't often get to do anything like that. So this is for Fezza. So the title is taken from an old punk tune I like, called Down Here on the Farm. And it's the sort of poem you can get involved in. So I thought I'd give you one of those ones. Okay, so it goes. There's no cause for alarm down here on the farm. You won't come to no harm down here on the farm. No one's moving too fast down here on the farm, but the time flies past down here on the farm. There's people always twisting my arm down here on the farm. I like to take a chance down here on the farm. I get the peeps in the bar down here on the farm, and fall asleep in the bath down here on the farm. You can lower your guard down here on the farm. You can lift the facade down here on the farm. We're all close but worlds apart down here on the farm. I'll spot a snake in the grass down here on the farm. We let off steam in the barn down here in the farm. We got beats and guitars down here in the farm. And we smoke in the dance down here on the farm. I saw her glow in the dark down here on the farm. It's a sport and an art down here on the farm. It's a walk in the park down here on the farm. Thank you.
Give it up for Harry Now, I was just down in the toilet when Roxy went off stage, but seriously, man, that was something else. So let's raise the roof again for Roxy. I like it, man. She came all the way from Bristol to perform, talk about showing love, man. Respect. Okay, a couple of little notes, man. Actually, if you haven't noticed, we have got like a place you can like draw or maybe write some poetry if you're feeling inspired and stuff. Just down here on the left. Feel free to go down there, down here on the farm, on the floor, on the second floor, whatever. You can call it a farm. Let's call it a farm from now on. Right, okay. So down in the farm, we've got some art materials and stuff. Just wander down there, down here on the farm. Yeah, anyway, check it out if you're feeling like it. Maybe leave a drink or a pen or something on your seat. So
This one's called Contractless. What came first, the chicken or the egg? What was pulled first, the pork or my leg? What will we come to see first, the revelation or the revolution? What will we figure out first, the illusion or the solution? They say there's a first for everything, but it seems like with development there's no contact. Yeah, there may be no systematic benefits, but at the same time there's nothing to lose. And so now every time that I sign another contract, I think, oh God, yeah, again, I'm signing my life away. But in reality, it was days after birth when my birth certificate was signed, my first contract, written before I knew the concept of contact between pen and paper, written between my parents and our government. A government who contracts men, who contract women. They'll contract the rich, they contract the poor. They contract a snitch, they'll contract a door-to-door salesman. They contract the builders, they'll contract anyone. They contract killers. And these contracts don't see an end until we contract disease or die by another means. Till death do us part, we are a certified part of a system. But what came first? No, what comes first? The life or the system?
yes, Fezza! Jack the Tripper! So, me and Fezza there, Jack the Tripper, do a, like, poetry, I don't know what you can call it, like an act, I guess. More like a mishap. Anyway, called something like poetry. And that wasn't actually beyond suspicion and spirits, but the heart of our culture lies an unquestioned myth. So step outside your culture and burn your banners, for the time has come for us to philosophise, not with a tuning fork, but with a hammer. Because at the heart of our economics and what we call rationality is the myth that all things exist in scarcity. Therefore, to feed, we must always compete, so we become separated from each other by this paradigm of greed. Our attitude? We must consume everything before it runs out. And if we don't fight each other, then we will miss out. We're told our wants are infinite and our resources finite. We believe this myth we're fed so strongly that we step on each other and forget the widow's mite. Empathy has its own reward, and so knows the altruist. While sophistry on sociopathy makes it palatable as rational self-interest. The earth is looted, called growth, and we say it can't be stopped. Whilst poorly read preachers recite Adam Smith so loud that we couldn't hear a pin drop. Now his face sits idolised in our wallets on tickets of debt. We're buying into dreams that no one's woken up from yet. Houses go empty while people go homeless. Until everyone is housed know that property is theft. Land bought and sold as if we have the right to carve the earth for private gain. Land made empty to appreciate in value. Are we insane? Nestle's CEO tells us water isn't a human right. I guess no one told him without water there is no human life. If it was possible, love would be quantified and sold as units. But economists can't chart love on graphs, so will forever remain clueless. An unnatural science, and at its heart this pitfall, that all things are scarce and that we are predictable. The truth? Life exists in abundance, most of all love. I challenge any man to deny it. I've seen people with lives torn to shreds and still carry the olive branch of the dove. I look around and I regularly see people give their heart, soul and sweat all for free. People give themselves to the last for the sake of others' needs. So don't you dare try to tell me that profit is the only motive in our society. As long as love remains and all things can be relieved, we can dispel the myths of scarcity and the necessity of greed. If we don't need to change ourselves just to challenge this unquestioned myth that selfishness is a natural way it is and we must learn to live with it, join me in saying no, I refuse to buy in. Everything is in you and you are everything. Join me when I say I am not a prisoner, I will make my stand. I am not a number, I am a free man. Yeah. The perfect time is right now, the perfect weapon is you. Because fighting each other over scarcity is something we can choose not to choose. Let warring for resources be a thing of the past. Say I refuse to look any longer through your greed-tinted glass. Let our new currency not be quantified or promised in paper. Let it only be given, never bought, sold or traded. Let our currency be love or even lost, guilt and rage. Whatever it is in us that says I will not be a slave. I cannot be bought or sold, my love cannot be quantified. I recognise the abundance around me and I know the only condition to partake is simply being alive. The future is right now and we've carved a new road. So all there is to do now is go and let the rest of the world know.
I've been working on a rap version of Macbeth for it took about a year to write the script, and I'm going through a funding application at the moment, and I got right into the kind of story and bringing out all the meanings behind it and stuff, and I really enjoyed it. And the result is a cross between a horror story and a political play about psychological, political terror. And we're going to do a couple of scenes. The part where Macbeth receives the premonitions. I don't know where to begin with this really, but there's a lot of, it's very deep, the whole play, and we're just going to give you a taste of it, and we see how we go with getting the whole project on the go. I've got some support from theatrical directors, and we're going to see it through eventually. You know. So, yeah, my take is basically about kind of Macbeth is part of a private company, a company of soldiers, a military company stroke private security company. He's a bit of a renegade, and he's promised certain things. And when they don't start to materialise, he makes them happen with the aid of his beautiful, slightly sadistic wife. And we're going to play out those two parts for you tonight. So I hope you enjoy it. Yeah.
What species are these ladies? Outlandish, you wear those clothes and you ought to be banished. Are you of humankind? You mind if I ask? Would I find signs of life behind the death mask? Let your fingers linger on your chapped lips, not your face in this case, I mean between your hips. I thought you were women, but you each sport a beard. Macbeef, I believe these sisters are weird.
Battle camp captain, Michael Drum, King Huron, all hail Macbeef. Battle camp captain, Michael Drum, King Huron, all hail Macbeef. Battle camp captain, Michael Drum, King Huron, all hail Macbeef. Battle camp captain, Michael Drum, King Huron.
These sisters are weird, why foul, what's fair? And start up a spasm, you appearing there as real or phantasm, gracing my mate with a fate that's dope. You've spoken so open of a noble hope. He's all enwrapped while I have to wait, neither begging nor fearing, favours nor hate. You describe what lies in the grains of time. If you know what grows, show me what's mine.
Lesser than he, more you'll achieve. Feeling relieved, filled with more grief. Kings you conceive, you'll never be chief. So all hail Banco and Macbeef. Lesser than he, more you will achieve. Feeling relieved, filled with more grief. Kings you conceive, you'll never be chief. So all hail Banco and Macbeef.
You freaks, answer the question. My old man's grave made me captain, but not called wrong. How can that be? He's a landed gentry, living in plenty. As for being king, you speak nonsense. Dark agents with strange intelligence. Why stand upon these blasted wastelands, trying to prophesy what no man understands? A steady nightshade made a mental block.
Or some narcotic got our brains on lock.
The troubled dirt bubbles,
As water will boil
they muddied up puddles,
and return to soil,
evaporated air,
incorporated steam
a whisper in the wind.
and a silent scream.
Your next generation, kings in the making.
The lord of the future, I'm sure I heard,
Time to be knighted, lest I'm mistaken.
each to the self same tune. Word.
So that's the premonition scene. The Civil War. And so he gains his title, so then he thinks, well, the other one's going to come true. I'm going to be king. You know, one promise came true. He says, 2 truths told, there's one to be got. So what happens is then he goes to the king, he gets knighted, and the king, Macbeef has kind of saved the day, he saved the nation, he's a one-man army kind of thing, and he's done butchery in the war. And the king basically, at a celebration, invites himself to Macbeef's place. And Lady Mac realizes that this is an opportunity to kill the king and give the crown to Macbeef. So the next part is, during the party, Macbeef is kind of withdrawn to a place. And we'll see what happens. like the villages. This assassination, we're done when it's done. The be all, the end all, jump what's to come. The judgment and punishment, the bloody instructions, plague those who invent, when it all returns. Even-handed justice commends a poisonous, chalices ingredients to our own lips, and double-check trust is... Hold on, let's start. Yeah, tone it down. Go for it. Just like what you had last time. Sorry. Send what you had. Yeah. Okay, nice one. Go again, sorry. This assassination, but done when it is done. The be all, the end all, just what's to come. The judgment and punishment, the bloody instructions, plague those who invent, when it all returns. This even-handed justice commends a poisonous, chalices ingredients to our own lips, and double-check trust, his subject, his host. I ought to keep the door to his murderers closed. The king's high rank and angelic virtue, damn any man who's planning a coup. Like a baby in a bombshell, cherub in Chernobyl, his blast broadcast, the deep to full view. I no spur, no urge to hurry this through. I've gone beyond control. What's new?
He's almost done. What are you doing back here?
You noticed I've gone?
Is it not that clear?
I can't pursue this murder any further. He's shown me honor. There's people to consider. They've got a gloss on me. They see me as boss. To toss it all away would be a mere loss.
Well, you were best dressed for this job when you were sober. You're paling now, you're ailing hangover. Is this your desire for me? A broken dream? To crack, to enact the tactics of the scheme. You wanna sound out crowds, crowned in esteem? Or hang your head down like the coward you see? You're like a timid little kitten that wants a bit to eat. How you love to get your fish, but you'll never wet your feet.
Please, lady, please, I dare all I can. Whoever dares more will never be a man.
Was it a beast that released this enterprise to me? When you do all you can, there's more a man to be. My femininity would let me bear a baby. I'll chuckle as he suckles and looks up at me. And having torn from my tits and hit to the floor, just to go and do what you have souls for.
And if we fail?
And if we fail, screw your courage, impale it with a nail, be a cockstring on your crossbow spring. Tighten up your knots and set your sights on the king. He's had a long trip, he'll slip off for a clip. I'll give his guys a tipple, get them in my grip. Raise a toast, have a drink, as many as we're able. And like most men, they'll be under the table, snoring like fools in their bed, dead drunk. What could you and I not do to the king in his bunk? What games could be played in the name of his officers? Reign with the blame for this massacre of ours.
This mold you hold is for our children. Your solid devil will settle as pure men. When we draw the sleepy guards, daggers from their sleeves, and leave them blood-stained, will people be deceived?
We'll make the grief roar when the horror's perceived. Who would dare have them any other way received?
Well, it's cocked like a lock and loaded mechanism. Every agent in my system bent on terrorism. Away mock time, let the false flag flow, and a false face hide what our false hearts know. Okay, thank you very much.
We got any singers? I know Hannah can sing. We got singers inside.
If you've got any mates that couldn't get in earlier, let them in now. It's free from now. It's just a party now. We're just gonna fucking kick off. Do you know what I mean? Thank you so much for coming tonight, for making this one of the best events I've ever been to. I mean, I'm going to say that because I put it on. And a big thank you to my main man, Ollie, who I could not have done this without. Like I said earlier, I've been the man in the spotlight. But my man over there, he put all the work in, man. He put a lot of work in, man. We've both been sharing this burden, otherwise it would have gone crazy on our own. So, enough from me. Let's get on with the show.
All you people just come gather round,
Yeah, yo, what's up, Marshy? We finally found Ozzy's car keys, so we'll be over in a heartbeat, banging Chef's record, motivational variety, representing the Bluminati party, where only spicy the wasabi. No grinder, so I use the Swiss Army. Don't run with scissors unless they're miniature. There's an X in my signature. Mine's the spot, that's where the goal is. I had a guitar, but I sold it. Had a big mouth, learned to control it. Every verse I throw my soul in. Beat curse, but I'm still going in. I might make some slow jig after I find somewhere to live. The lifetime's to the mix. That's some fun shit. Fuck the dumb shit. Everything is dope in my circumference. And I mean music. I dream lucid. Check it. I just do shit. So who's who from the blue crew drinking the fruit juice? Yes, Marshy the argue. Who's who from the blue crew drinking the fruit juice? And the beat months.
About to set fire while I never retire. I don't never have a desire to keep anything but the peace. Yeah, and I'll never even say the least. I just try and make the peace increase. Big up to everybody in the room. Come forward and consume more rhymes that are 10 times better than you hear on the radio. You don't hear me though. Here we go again. Now a geezer that kills it even without a pen. It's like Birdie Road, just another dope quote. Anyway, I'm setting sail, so get on the boat.
Are you listening? How's that, everybody? Did you like that sound? New MC, new beat. That's the rule. For wars of thumbless monkeys and primates, can't find a hard place and stay your position. Cause the war kind of does a demonstration of wisdom. It's pretty much the most important thing they can bring with them in this blind system of survival of the fittest. I'm leaving treetops with knobbly knees and not hair that drops a bead of sweat onto the leaf beneath my feet. Now I'm hungry, sick of eating fruit and nut. Time to go get me some meat into my ruthless gut. Cause I'm a saber tooth, nut job with gut rot. Find me in the corner of your cave. fuck off. I'm Edward Awkward, I fall short to Northwood. Can't see the wood for the trees, and I'm living in an orchard. Heavily tortured the born soul. I walk into here and please ask me why am I so hollow? Why I don't follow my zeitgeist and liking me to ramble when I ramble by my sorrow.
Nice one, Harry.
Si mi rima quiere viajar colorado y soy un águila con sol imaginado, picada por lo mío, soy hostil más en el mes de abril. Mi rima es a la flor de los cerezos, motivo de mi rezo. Con cabe en su relato cuando empieza a volar en esta alfombra. En mi progreso como me la sombra. Y viajo rápido, tanto que te inventé el término galaxia y un plácido. Mi foco si puedes sígueme, paraíso de la imaginación sin límite. Ven que te invito a recorrido por el motor. Quiero irme, morirme, saber lo que hay después y volver para contártelo metido en un cuerpo más firme, que ya no me soporta ni me importa. Cada vez más solo, cada vez más loco, duermo en un portal, que no voy a dejar el alcohol como un koala colgado de alas sin sol. Voy, me llaman Don Drama, ruedo por la cama puesto en llamas, juego de águila en mis camas. Ya no sé qué decir porque estoy improvisando aquí con mi colega, el que tío que está flipando.
That was good, man.
Sounds like Timberland.
A bit slow.
Vibes in. Yeah. Yo. On a beat like this, so it needs to be done. Never mind location, the stage, the front, and the back, to the mega bus. I'm all over the place, I'm paying session. I show no prejudice, so the this estimate. Get to the bottom of it, see the best in it. Got an onto it, be rejecting it. You know I couldn't get less than this. These days I'm setting it in. I'm not settling in, keeping my own skin. Skin a nice old thing, it's going to make it think. My last chance to throw down. This is close for the lowdown. I went from the hillbilly hoedown to MMA at the Norfolk Showdown. We're not an even killer. I don't need no filler. Don't do rollies, don't do selfies. It needs to know that I'm living healthy, dead free, make a life feel guilty. Just free when I ain't chewing. Make like somebody round and kill it. Yeah, shit. Yo. Said, please sing me the rhythm. Tell me the Phoenix has risen. I'm a part of the EA division. But you guys can see my vision. I don't do anything, I don't believe in them. We should do it for physics. My own full victim. Also fast, it's all cricket. Yeah. Yeah. That's the beat, son.
Like organised rhyme, can't run through like a porcupine. Ready to roll the mic more than one fucking time. I'm sublime, ain't so much as you can get the rhyme. I license the ill like the Beastie Boys. I'm making noise like Adam May, rest in peace. I never spit the least. I don't fleece. I'm not like a wolf. Well, I am a wolf in wolf clothing. That's why my own path is chosen a moment. You get overdosing by the dopeness. How did I kill this? I promote this. Peace, love and unity to the community. Don't be confused with me. I'm making an incision.
If I just keep sowing the seed of creativity, say no to negativity in my life, and my time is now. Won't let anybody get me down. Yeah.
Yo, and I'm with Swift when I lay down them lyrics. I bring that war hip hop. I'm not relying on the gimmick. I'm spinning more than enough that I would live. Don't be my vision. I'm eating it up. I would lose in my mind. Tipping these bars and I be kicking. Penny decks to get from one place to the next. Time is of the essence and I make love all the and jet. I tend to flex. That time fasting. One is spinning sweet. Taking the beat like a castle. Later teaching evil dead free and wrong. I'm a core rap. It's trying to breeze to blow on candles. I'll destroy these dead eyes like my name be Bruce Campbell. I'm bringing enough love to rehydrate sand and soil. But just like a hit in the gut when your friend ain't been loyal. I try my best to reject any negative thoughts. Master Salas on the mic and step back without a pause. If you want to be thinking, here's the smorgasbord to penetrate their brain like a strike from the Navajo's tomahawk.
Oh, you better believe it.
Cause you can't play at school if you're gonna unfool you. What you gonna be in for? What's that chopped up bound self-reward? Overcharged, overstalled as you turn dust. As you try to create mushroom fuss. But I can't really bother with it, reminding it as I try to transpire and I find a way to find
can only freestyle if I put my mind to it. But what exactly would be the problem if I was defined to it? But would it be a system within my own belligerence? I wouldn't be able to find my own diligence and what I can't define to be my own mind. But would it even matter if I wasn't subsided? But I could be a puppet, I could be a fucking crescent, I could be Ronaldo, I could have nothing but I'm getting. But I decide that I wanna work next to anything, but anything that's gonna actually create my dream. So when is it that you're gonna see the reality? When you are not set that to my duality. But when is it that I'm gonna feel exactly that you feel as I feel? And the majority is actually down to the likely minds what I feel. If it's actually down to the majority of minds that I feel, and if it wasn't something that you feel, then why is it that I try to even be real if you're gonna waste my time? And I'm sitting there and you'll say, oh, but McDonald's was fine, but do you actually know that if you put a gherkin in the McDonald's burger though, it actually means that that's the only thing that makes it food FDA approval though? So what is it you're trying to say to me? What? Am I slow? What do you think this is for you? Fucking what? Have I got only one fucking IQ in my head though? Is it a fucking problem if I can't say that I can spit though? So what, I can rhyme it? I can take the choices to define it, what I say and how I'm gonna write it. What? So you put a fucking use, a use that's over as you screw loose my own overuse of my translucent fusion of what I try to prove. I can't even realise the system because actually a system isn't anything that we're actually living in. So what?
Fire! Fire!
Are you listening? Come on, guys. We got Stand United. You ready? It's coming. Definitely coming. It's here. You better not fear. Yeah. Yo, I know a country so beside who's so beside himself, he stays stoned. He doesn't like he's so bounce around. Used to see life in all terms of being purple, till his coloured nurture started hurting his skull. His parents shipped him out to get his eyesight fixed, but seeing life in black and white bunch of a kid, he started skipping school thinking it was hit to hop the fence. It wasn't his defence, I just wish I went along with it. He had a strange sort of longing in his eyes all the fucking time, He had a strange sort of siren song circling through his mind all the time, fucking time. Bounce, everybody bounce around now. Come on, jump.
Yeah.
Yo, for Harry, let's bounce.
Feeling. I know what my real people are needing. The only free thing is sleeping, but it's wasted. You're better off waiting. I'm memory making, flame chasing. I live this shit cause I created. Get that good feeling when I make it. Feed off of it. Good music makes more music. True words leave me cruising for a bruising. I'm in the bigger picture. I can see above those killers. Psychology for beginners. Our strengths are your weaknesses. We must be on different frequencies. I actually treat everyone equally. Still kill this shit repeatedly. Yeah, and we doing this shit. I got half my team with me. She came from Bristol. Yeah, she killed it. Ice cool cold. Yeah. Straight like Bristol gold from back in the day. Yeah, like when I had wavy hair. Yeah. That shit rhymes. Do it every time, like 9 times out of 10. Brother Phil said, can I rhyme when you get to the end? Oi!
Nothing in the world, never just a little bit. Cause if you hold the fire, you gotta keep that shit lit. People come from the blow and the way that I spit. And when I'm on the mic, you know I keep it legit. I'm too sick, widely known as the guy with them funky flows that I got to outlive. So I got them fruity flows. You can call them things, so I keep this on the road. Cause this is breaking some honey rappers shaking with the style that I am making. The school still prefers the baking to the baking. You can call me Freddy Krueger, cause I'm fucking up the dream. Man, you better have another thought, it's on it yourself. Like a samurai ran for wars, so sacrifice yourself. Come along like when Bruce Willis was an astronaut. I see you so people.
Big up to Bill for putting on this night.
right. This is the most hype cycle I've had in my life. Anything got a line, I'm best to do it, please, right? Can you please slow it down? Listen, I wanna do that type of flow right now. But it's not listening, so I'm still listening, still whispering like the fucking stars. Yeah, watch me, I'm triple extra large. I'm like the fucking orphanage t-shirt, you know that we hurt, see the blood on the heart, see the blood in the heart, and the sting's the start. I had to take it apart and then rebuild it, filled it with knowledge. My out ain't for counting any dollars, I'm not out for pounds, I'm just going over leaps and bounds. Hear the sound reverbs around the underground and then over, going all the way to Dover or wherever you wanna be when you listen to me. Visualize it and then you can set your third eye free. Got a ting.
Hang on.
Got a ting on locker.
Coming up, bringing it hard. And every time I'm on, I'm like the freestyles in store. Never bored, we keep it on, it's pretty damn good night. Gonna say if you like this, the best get to Miami nice. I don't know when it was, if not, I'd pick it up then and then. Fuck it, I kill it out my brain, as long as not too much to spend. Keep it up and keep it lively on the night. Never cool, I won't miss my voice too much, it will break. But anyway, please bring it back and bring it again. Time to set my trend. Never follow, always, never be a bastard now. Cause I'm falling off, it's like a superhero with a miss to take a bow.
Who's over the blue crew drinking the fruit juice? Over the blue crew drinking the fruit juice.
Oh, you better believe it.
Who's over the blue crew drinking the fruit juice?
Inside the mic. Inside the mic.
We better be getting fucking dirty in here.
Who's over the... Inside the place. Who's over the blue crew drinking the fruit juice? Who's over the blue crew drinking the fruit juice? Who's over the blue crew drinking the fruit juice? Who's over the blue crew drinking the fruit juice? Who's over the blue crew drinking
I'm sorry, everybody. I'm knackered.
That was a lot of fun, really.
That's so nice for the monkey man.
Lovely, delicious.
That didn't taste like water.
Feed this man drinks and he'll beatbox.
I like your style.
What's all this free drinks? Where's mine? What's wrong with it?
I like the way this is a poetry jam and now
What do you
everyone's
think
just...
this is?
Let's have this.
Carnage. Miami nice. Yeah, that's it. That's it.
I'm losing my voice.
It's all good. We'll turn you up. My code of conduct: deliver the dopest possible products so we can rock out, plug the mics in and mop up, burst in its cut and hover like air hockey pucks, no potluck. I'm the proof that dogs can look up. If you're a jack of all trades, then you're a master of none. Every Tom, Dick and Harry be jumping on the stage, but there remains only one. That's when the truthdom comes. Speak with a lucid tongue, even if I might get punched, yeah. And that's the monkey one. Yeah, he's about to spit you a chunky one. Fun size like Cadbury squirrels. Yeah, when I grow my hair it curls. That's when the plan unfurls, yeah. Unfoils, black like tin foil. Yeah, don't check my feet. Symmetry did horrendous things to me. Like day 3, still holding it down. Got the golden sound, EA, no cliche, no cliche. Vocoders, all of our favourite DJ. That's a Marshy quote. Who can beatbox in this motherfucker?
Yeah. What's yours goes first, but never finish last during sex. Yeah, I come through like a T-Rex sucker. Said before, I'm the last dinosaur, ready for war, but I'm the pacifist, activist, yeah, too right. I'm gonna get well, too wavy tonight. like buttons. Strictly on beat, you know, strictly me. I'll be strictly free, strictly Marcy Miyagi. Drinking some shit which says T-I-N-G. Either way, I'll be raising up the vibrancy. To get alive in me, never dividing me. See, I'm still providing these free. Even if it's over and past me, I can still catch it. Rubber style, you can never match it. Yeah, watch me do a lyrical rap, mate. This shit is like gymnastic. It is drastic. Every time I get on the beat, I always kill it. It's like I've just thought of about 1,000,000 miles per minute in my rhyme, but I'm 10 times better than geezers committing crime, which are like atrocities on the label economy. What are you gonna do? No way that you could ever be stopping me. I'll be like Rocky C over the hill when it comes to the skill. Anyway, I'm gonna sit back and chill and let Pezza sever you with the microphone one time. That's Marcy Miyagi. Make sure you go to Miami Nice. Order in the court. This justice is happening in abundance, and we're not even allowed to confront the corresponding officials who offend those who may offer their services to protect. Protection? It's more like they're looking for social rejection. When they look into a mirror, do they even see a projection? Or a projection of a future where they go in a class-based genocidal selection? We're brought up in classes, taught what our classes, so when to grow up and know to act up. Accidentally accepting the line, we're all free to do as we please. If we're all free and all equal, then why are these people allowed to walk around with a fact on, ready to attack any worthless Englishman with a cap on? Now I'm not trying to justify my right to carry a weapon. I wouldn't dream of doing such a thing. When I see an officer bring a man on only with words to his knees and being battened down upon his head, I can't help who faces this justice. So with this injustice upon us, are you ready to stand against the social powers who do not deserve to look down upon us? The political movement that goes to the two, it shows some in the face of what it was proved. It's the kind of project for the right, right, man, for the right, for the shit, for the people in the right, for the graphic, for the kind of tracks. Shit. Okay. It's the blue cool move. To rock the set back, embrace the impact. Underneath the field, and you should know the Thank you, Organised Rhyme! Thank you! Give it up for Bill! For putting this on! Thanks, man. It's not just me, it's my main man Ollie standing right here. I'm a joke without him, man. Top close. Sorry, Ollie, mate. Right, basically, thank you so much for coming. We're going to be hopefully doing this every month. If you guys want to check it out again, look out for it on Facebook. And flyers and stuff out and about. Big up yourselves for coming. It's been an amazing night. It really has. Just much love to all of you.